My experience with Castlevania Legends. So, let me give you all a history when I started playing this shit. Alright, so I started playing Castlevania Legends like not even months ago. I actually recently beat this game like about a few months ago, and there's also not that many levels and really that interesting bosses in this game, but I kind of wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about this game because not only I was seeing like tons of reviews before, well, not before I played, but after I played it. But I started playing this just randomly on Switch Online like a few weeks ago. And, you know, for a minute, Castlevania Legends is actually like, excuse me, a pretty decent video game, you know, at first. But as I started playing like more and more of the game, I started to feel like Castlevania Legends, you know, just like the title really suggests, it really feels more like a Ninja Gaiden game. And not that I mind that, because I love, you guys know I liked, well, me and my history with Ninja Gaiden is kind of complicated, because like, the first game I actually beat of Ninja Gaiden, then the second one was so damn hard I didn't even feel like beating it, and then the third one I just kind of fucked off so early on. In terms of, like, the NES games of Ninja Gaiden. And then I just didn't play Ninja Gaiden after that. Like, after that, I played the 3 console games, which I really should make up my experience on all 3 and just kind of tell you my opinion on all 3 of the newer, you know, games of Ninja Gaiden. Or Gaiden, however you want to call it. But anyways, yeah, this game right here, Castlevania Legends, Hero 221. Welcome. Yeah, so when I'm playing this game, it's very different. Because, you know, when I started playing, you know, this game, you know, it was kind of being like your standard Castlevania, your old school Castlevania where you move left and right and stuff like that. But, I don't know, to me, this started feeling more like it really started to feel like Ninja Gaiden. And what I mean by Ninja Gaiden, as in, like, the older Ninja Gaidens on the NES. And I actually played one for the Game Boy, Ninja Gaiden Shadow, which, if you haven't seen that My Experience video, I said that was the best Ninja Gaiden game. Not only because it was short, but it was easy for me to get my hands on, and it wasn't overwhelmingly difficult like the other ones that I played before that game, Ninja Gaiden Shadow. So, Alex, if you like Ninja Gaiden Shadow, then what's your problem with Castlevania Legends? VR, my name is Arekkusu TM, and I make videos on old school games, like kind of like game review type shits. AKA, that's what my experiences are, pretty much reviews on games. Not just reviews on games, but just experiences that I've gone through that I want to just make videos talking about it. I do vlogs, I do all sorts of shit, like, and also gaming too, I do all of that stuff. But anyways, back to what I was saying. What makes this game and Ninja Gaiden Shadow so different is obviously like the level design and the music and stuff like that. Because I remember when I was hearing Ninja Gaiden Shadow's music, I actually liked it. There was multiple different tracks. There was literally, you know, something was going on each and every single stage, and it really felt like a Ninja Gaiden game. You know what I mean? And I love it. Do you have a PC? No, I do not, Anonymous Plays. I do not have a PC. But anyways, and sub. Here is free like and sub. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate that. You just became my 3,200 subscribers, so thank you. But with all seriousness, like I said, with Ninja Gaiden Shadow, that game all the way through kept me hooked because not only the music and stuff, but it was also like other great things that game had. This game is slow paced. The bosses are kind of they can be easy if you like spam, you know, button mash really fast. Excuse me, but there's also some enemies that are just kind of annoying in this game. And the music in Castlevania Legends it feels like it's the exact same music that plays. Like, I'll give you, like, here's a listen to it a little bit. You hear this theme that you're hearing right now throughout the entire experience, and the theme does not change throughout the entire time you're playing it. And in my opinion, I know Game Boy games are capable of having more than one track of music the entire game. That also was pretty much kind of bothering me after a while, because after a while I was sitting there like, why does this game only have one music track? And it feels like Castlevania Legends doesn't really give a fuck, you know, about it feeling like a Castlevania game. It just feels like I'm playing a game starring a Belmont or Sonia Belmont or something, and I'm just going through room to room slaying monsters. I mean, I know that's technically what really old school Castlevania is, but you know what I mean? I'm trying to play Castlevania like it's the first one, man, where there's staircases, you know, different, I don't know, things to do, not just, I don't know, boring gameplay where I'm playing as this one chick with a whip that barely fucking reaches anything, and that's your only weapon throughout most of the game. Barely any sub-weapons in this game, and the sub-weapons that you get in Castlevania Legends aren't really, I mean, they're alright, but they're not like from like Castlevania 1 with Simon with the holy water, you know, spamming holy water and whip, where you can like murk an enemy in like 15 seconds with it. Like, these special weapons are very like not like limited use, but they're like not like the best. You know, yeah, man, Flying Medusa coming at you every 2 seconds. I mean, where is the king of Ohio? Well, I don't even live in Ohio, so I can't even tell you that. But yeah, like, you can just look at this level design, and obviously it's a Game Boy, so they're going to be limited to reusing the same rooms, zombie monsters, as you can see, which these zombie monsters fucking suck. I never liked dealing with those minigame rooms. They were kind of stupid. But yeah, like, let's see if we can find, like, the first boss. Like I said, you can go through this game like crazy over here, dude. Just walking around, and then this is your first boss. This giant bat-winged looking thing. It's the weirdest thing I've seen. Not the weirdest thing. I've seen other stuff, but yeah, and then also on your whip, you get, like, items on your whip, so you can shoot, like, little fireballs and shit, which is kind of cool. But also, you can't run in this game either. That's another problem I have with this game. You can't run at all. Like, meanwhile, all the other Belmonts, you're like, you have to get used to this usual walking / running speed, which, in my opinion, is already kind of ridiculous, because why should I have to move fucking super slow throughout, like, all these levels, right? And it may not be, like, the longest game on the planet, but there were so many times when I was playing Castlevania Legends where stages just kept going. You know what I mean? Like, they kept going when I felt like they really had no need to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm sitting here always thinking when I played Castlevania Legends throughout my first playthrough, my only playthrough I'm doing on the game, on my Nintendo Switch Online, and to be honest, you know, being able to play that on Nintendo Switch Online instead of a random emulator was nice because the rewind feature and stuff and other things. He only does backflips. I think I've started to know that, you know, the Belmonts and stuff doing backflips and this weird chain move. Now keep in mind, I haven't played like every single, so that's why I can't really compare it to like Castlevania 2, or 3, or 4. And I know Castlevania 4 is like one of the, or I think it was Symphony of the Night. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And there was like another one that was like really popular. I just can't remember it since I haven't gotten myself fully invested into the series yet. But yeah, my playthrough of this game, to sum it up, was really sluggish. Sluggish gameplay, bosses. The only boss that ever interested me in this game was Alucard. And obviously Dracula is in the game as well. But, you know, I don't know, that was like the only boss, and Alucard isn't much of a fight in the game. All he does is he literally, Castlevania Dracula X is my favorite. Castlevania Dracula X, is that a place that, like PlayStation 1 or something? Because I want to play all the games, at least give every game a chance. Is there like a big ass collection on PlayStation or Switch or something that I can cop for like cheap? Or do I have to like be on a specific console to get them all and stuff? Because I have at least 1 to 4 for the, oh, it's for the SNES? Okay. I'll give it a try then. I don't know why it's not a Nintendo Switch Online service or anything. That's kind of weird because I was not seeing that on Nintendo Switch Online's service. But anyways, yeah, that's literally how I can literally sum it up in 12 minutes. Castlevania Legends felt like a sluggish game with barely any good bosses. Level design was okay at best, and I actually got rather confused a lot throughout my freaking journey, like where to go next sometimes, because the game wouldn't just outright tell me, you know, you need to go straight or something, or left or right or whatever. Because obviously Castlevania is all about figuring the shit out yourself and shit, but yeah, to me, this game just felt too sluggish. It felt even more sluggish than Mario Bros. Like, it also is pretty damn slow game. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I like fast, like, oh, it has to be 20 times faster than the speed of light to make me feel something. No, it's not that. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just kind of okay. And then again, this dragon boss right here is okay. Not the hardest boss in the world, but I'd suggest you don't get hit too fucking much during it. Let me show you guys, like, fucking Alucard and stuff. Like I said, like, a lot of these bosses, to me, in my opinion, other than Alucard, is pretty forgettable. Like, look at this Grim Reaper dude. That's a Mountain Dew ad. Don't pay attention to that. But look at this Grim Reaper dude. Are you going to remember him over Alucard or Dracula himself? Or, I don't know. She had a pretty, in my opinion, this Belmont, Sonya Belmont had a pretty forgettable adventure. There's also other games on the Game Boy, I think, too, like Castlevania 1 and 2 on Game Boy, which I think there's also some on the Game Boy Advance, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is the Alucard fight right here. Yeah, you see, she's actually fighting Alucard, and, you know, he's talking about how much he loves her, and she's like, Alucard, I can say the same, and all this other dialogue, which the dialogue in this game is kind of boring as well. I didn't really pay too much attention. I was like, finally got to Alucard, let's beat his ass, you know? Because I honestly thought Alucard was like the final boss of the game. And I was like, okay, let's get this. I don't want to hear the dialogue. Let's beat Alucard, let's do this, right? So we get to his fight after all this talking. And he's like, show me your fucking strength, right? So he has this jump bat move that allows him to go to the opposite side. He has a flame move, and then he has this little sword stabby move. Which I think this boss is arguably easier once you figure all his moves out, how to counter him and shit. That this Alucard is the fucking joke in this game in terms of being a boss fight. You know, and Alucard's like, damn, I actually been hurt by her. What the fuck? Then you go in this cave shit down here. Just pay attention to the little picture right here. Yeah, you go into a cave for a little bit, then another castle, then another level, which is fine. It's so much fun. Yeah, you guys can tell I had a lot of fun with this game. This game's absolute peak. Oh yeah, and then you fight this big thing, which I didn't fight this big thing, so I think he's fighting bosses that I actually didn't get to fight. Because after Alucard, for me, I got straight to Dracula. You know, which this is Dracula. Dracula, he talks about, you have done well, my girl, this blade, you are the first to reach me, or whatever the fuck, blah, blah, blah. I don't know where this game goes in the timeline of Castlevania, but I'm thinking this might be one of the first Castlevania games in the game, because Dracula talks about how you're the first to make it here type shit. But yeah, this is first phase Dracula, and trying to do this boss with no HP was one of the hardest things I had to do in a while. And yet on my GBA roam, I couldn't even jump those little black bullshit or duck underneath them, dude. You know, it was actually just kind of ridiculous, to be honest. But then you fight his first form and he's like, nah, fuck you. And then you fight his second form where he becomes this demonic demon bat pig thing. And you're sitting there like, alright, let's beat this boss ass. You know? And also, I guess he's just going to damage boost through him, because that's what I was kind of doing too when I was fighting this boss. And that's literally the entire game. Pretty much. Walk around rooms. You kill enemies on the way. And then you deal with freaking Alucard once you get there, and Dracula, and the game's over. Honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to play this game again. Not because it's just a Ninja Gaiden clone. Alright? Not because of that. But it's mainly because, again, how sluggish, like I said before, it's mainly because of how sluggish this game is. Like, how slow everything felt to me after a while. Like, I remember in the first few stages, I was okay with the game's length, and I was okay with what I was doing. But after a while, I started feeling sluggish and kind of tired of the game, and I kind of beat this in 2 days, and I almost forgot that I even played Castlevania Legends. You know what I mean? I legit forgot I played this game almost. If I didn't have the thumbnail for this video, I would have completely forgotten I have played this game. He doesn't front flip. Kaon Worthy? He doesn't front flip? Well, actually, I'd argue what's-her-name doesn't even fucking have any good jumps at all. Sonya? Y'all should drink purified drinking water. That shit is so good. Get bottles upon bottles of that shit, man. Get bottles of that shit. So good. Such good water. But yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? I wanted to do something like a little bit simpler, like a simpler my experience, because this game is pretty much just that, a simple my experience where I can just throw out there and get out there to the world. And I know other people have said the exact same thing I said about Castlevania Legends, because this is something interesting. I was looking through videos, because when you look up Castlevania Legends in general, you don't get playthroughs right off the gate. You get a lot of people's reviews, and a lot of those people's reviews were, is this, like, one of them was, is Castlevania Legends as bad as everyone says it is? Castlevania Legends is a shit game. Castlevania Legends is just Ninja Gaiden. And then you can read the comments of some of these people's reviews, and, you know, they're saying it's basically this Castlevania is not even, like, yeah, it's like, you can read comments and you can see, yeah, Sonya, the disavowed Belmont. You know, look, I'll show you the comments. This is a playthrough, by the way, a full playthrough of this, and then these are the comments. Look at this. I'd like to think she's secretly Dracula's granddaughter, Lord of Lords canon. What happened to the music in the game? The first song is good, but it seems to be playing too fast. The rest of the music isn't good at all. I prefer... And... You know, I prefer and still play Castlevania Adventure just to listen to the music. I didn't like those dead-end rooms they sprinkle into Legends. And I wonder where they got that idea from. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that, like, comment on this because it's so bad. Like, look at this. I'm going to put Castlevania Legend. I'm going to show you guys this. I don't usually do this anymore in my reviews, but... Yeah, see, look. Retro review. Castlevania Legends a year ago. Is it really that bad? Right? We go from... This is video from 13 years ago, right? From World of Long Plays. Damn. Should have been included in Castlevania Collection. People must fulfill their dreams with their own power. Sonia Belmont. I still get goosebumps from that quote. This game is mediocre on many aspects, especially coming from the fantastic Belmont's Revenge. It feels like a big chunk of wasted potential, which is very sad because the GB Castlevania trilogy was to end on a big note. Despite of this, Sonia Belmont is still a badass character. I think it's unfair that Konami, they removed her from the timeline so quickly. This game really needs some sort of remake where we could finally play with Sonia in a true Castlevania fashion. The fight against Alucard is still illogical. Alucard would never test the strength of a human in risk of hurting them or himself. He would have joined anyone who provides to help his father. Now I must sleep. This is such a facepalm moment. I suppose Castlevania is one of those notorious Game Boy games that require a Super Game Boy to actually tell how much health the bosses have left. I've never played the game, but the graphics are a serious step down from Castlevania 2. What the hell were those Morbius blob fallings from trees even represent? Sonia Belmont could have been a great part of the canon. I find Belmont Revenge way more appealing for the eyes. Like, look at that. The game actually has pretty catchy soundtrack. That's the first person I've seen that said that. This is definitely one of the Castlevania games ever made. This was my first video game I ever owned. Finally found it. She is Sonia Belmont, right? Dang, this game reminisces me about my childhood age. I have played this game since I was 9-year-old, now I'm adulthood. But you see what I mean? There's a lot of people mixed in here that love and really dislike this game. Mainly just because, like, it kind of sucked for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, what are you yapping about, cutie? Madeline, I am yapping about Castlevania Legends. That is literally what I'm yapping about. A game that not a lot of people respect, and apparently it's non-canon to the Castlevania timeline, which I'm actually really going to get involved with the Castlevania stuff because they have so many games to get into. It's absolutely ludicrous. I thought Mario does have a lot more games than Castlevania, of course, but Castlevania has a lot of games, and I'm down to get into them. But anyways, I think that's it. I don't want to stretch this video longer than it needs to be. This game is okay at best. And it's not the worst game I ever played, but I definitely recommend... I don't know if I would recommend this to Castlevania fans, to be honest. Like, I don't know who the right demographic for this game is. If you like games that are adventure-like, that have platforming in it and stuff, and you don't really care about the lore or whatever, you just want to turn a game on real quick that's kind of like an hour-ish, then I guess Castlevania Legends I can recommend it to you if you really do not care about, like, what's going on in the story. You just want to play a game to beginning to end and not think about it. I think that's the best way to go about Castlevania Legends, to be honest, is play the game, not think about the story or the characters, just play through it. That's it. I think that's the best way you can look at this game, to be honest. Lucas, Castlevania, dramatic entrance. Castlevania. Hey, Alan. What's up, Lucas? How you doing? Welcome back to stream. But I'm about to end it. So, this was a really short video. I don't know if I'll even come back for a third after that fucking Wii Sports Resort bullshit that I just went through. By the way, go check that out if you want to see what the fuck happened. It's actually a great stream. It's only 59 minutes, about an hour. Well, a minute from an hour, but you get my point. I was too late, but how are you doing? I'm doing pretty alright, you know. Just got done doing another session of Wii Sports Resort Bowling, you know, trying to beat my brother's score, you know, and stuff, so That's interesting. And I don't know how it went. You know, you're going to have to watch the video to see how it went. But, yeah, that's it. This game's small, forgettable, and I don't regret playing it. But this one just kind of makes me want to... I'm not going to lie. Castlevania Legend just makes me want to go back to the Super Nintendo. Or not the Super Nintendo, the NES, and actually just go beat Castlevania 2. You know, Simon's Quest, you know, or Castlevania 3, 4, other ones for the SNES, if there's more, you know, and just try to get into the series. Because, yeah. But anyways, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you so much for watching. I know this stream wasn't long. I apologize. It's just, I literally just gave y'all like a 59-minute episode not even that long ago, so, of Wii Sports. So, yeah. If I'm back for a third stream, just look out for that. Just look out for the noti on Discord. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for 3.2K. Well, 3,200 subscribers. You guys are fucking peak.